this.
What's the saying? Anything you can do, I can do better. 4 goals for Real Madrid on Saturday, 5 for Barcelona on Sunday. Here's confirmation of the rest of the results. Mallorca beating Espanyol at home 2-1. Real Betis Celta Vigo ended in a rather entertaining 1-1 draw, and then Real Sociedad beat Osasuna 3-1. Let's get some reaction from the Nou Camp. Barcelona, as you can see, they're top of the table, back to 4 points clear above Real Madrid in that race for the La Liga title. Here is Hansi Flick on a free scoring performance from his side.
For me, it's okay. We have 3 points more, 1 game less, and we scored 5 goals. It was good to see, but you know, in the beginning we don't play with this conviction, and normally I want to see my team, and so we have to. I know that we have many games, and maybe for some players it's a lot of, but at the end, you know, to play faster, this is what we have to do. So also we have to be focused for next game, because Newcastle is a great team.
Michael, this is Barcelona doing what they do best, dispatching lower league, or well, not lower league, but lower teams in the division, and just scoring goals for fun. They have so many players going forward that are just fearsome, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a 5-star performance from Barcelona, and I mean, they could have gotten even worse, right? You think of how ruthless they've been, especially at home in the calendar year, and it's just good to see them putting it together. But this was all about getting the supporting cast and the rotation of players. I think Hansi Flick made 3 changes from the match against Newcastle. So you have issues with players being out in the fullback position, right? So it's good to see players like this man right here on our screens, Xavi Espart, getting his full debut with Barcelona. But for me, the big talking point was the fact that you get added minutes to certain players who need it, namely the likes of Joao Cancelo. I thought he was outstanding today, Adam.
Another game goes by without that man there, Robert Lewandowski, the number 9, scoring goal. He did have a chance, didn't he, late on? We thought he was going to score, but eventually missed it. How much of a leash is he going to get in this starting lineup for these really big games?
I think the big let-off for him is that Ferran Torres has been really poor, right? You look at the Ferran Torres that was there last year, was actually keeping Lewandowski out of the lineup towards the end of the season. And some people might say, okay, he had some injury issues, but this is a Barcelona side that I think for them to hit the highest ceiling and the highest gear that they can, they need Lewandowski to score goals. Everything happened today that needed to happen except him getting that coveted goal. But when I look at this team, right, and you look at what they're doing and how they're doing it, so they've scored 77 goals, and obviously Bayern Munich are the only team that has scored more goals in Europe's top 5 leagues. They're doing this without a Lewandowski that scored 42 goals last season. And up steps players who are filling the gap. I think a player like Fermin Lopez has really stepped up his game and filled that void. And you look at Lamine Yamal taking his game to another level. Obviously, he didn't feature today, but for Barcelona, what makes them scary good and what makes them a team that should be feared in all of Europe, and especially moving into the Champions League against Newcastle, is the fact that now they have another attacking threat in Joao Cancelo in their ranks. Today, I thought that he was one of the man of the match, or in my opinion, he should have been the man of the match. You look at a player that if you were to say after last season, if anyone was going to come in and just outshine and outrank the likes of Alex Balde, I would have said you're absolutely out of your mind. And for me, there's no question about it. After today, and after 18 minutes of this match, Hansi Flick has his first choice fullback. I don't care if it's even the left side or the right side. He is that good. It's almost like having a top-class winger playing fullback who has the vision of a commanding center midfielder and passing ability, and the goal he scored was out of this world. In my opinion, he could be Barcelona's most important defender down the stretch, but a Barcelona like this is a Barcelona that no one wants to play.
Well, yeah, I mean, he scored the goal, didn't he? But he also was directly involved in the first 2 goals for Barcelona as well. We've seen, I would say, the best of both Real Madrid and Barcelona this weekend. Playing well, attacking football, scoring goals, 4 for Real, 5 for Barca. When you watch both of them one day after the other like that, who do you think has the advantage? If we ignore the league table, obviously Barcelona ahead, but who has the advantage on the pitch when you compare the two in the title race?
It really has to be Barcelona, right? And you look at the different players that are stepping up with big moments. Today, Dani Olmo was putting another Dani Olmo masterclass. He was a difference maker, a player who's had to come off the bench quite a bit as of late. This is a Barcelona side that if you were to play Barcelona and Madrid today, right, with all the injuries put together, Barcelona, I think, would wipe the floor in La Liga if the Clásico was played today. And I know Madrid fans who follow us at this network are going to be screaming, you're not giving us any chance. You guys don't give us any love. I want to see you guys in the comments. I want to see a Madrid side that continues to put more football matches than the last 2 matches we've seen. They are one of the most inconsistent sides in all of European football, and Champions League aside, I still want to see more from Real Madrid. If they put a performance like they do at the Etihad against Manchester City, then I'll be believing a bit more.
They're coming for you, Michael. Just be careful. Just be careful. They got that huge game against Newcastle in the new camp in midweek. An opportunity for Hansi Flick to rest a few players. You mentioned the changes there that he made for this one, and they managed to survive very unscathed. How do you think they'll be feeling having played this weekend, scored 5 goals, won the game comfortably going into that reverse fixture? Because they were quite poor against Newcastle, really.
Yeah, they really were, and they looked predictable. They looked exhausted, and full credit to Newcastle for the game plan. I think Newcastle played them off the park, and they really overwhelmed them with that sense of intensity. But I want to throw this out there. So Newcastle are coming off a massive win against a Chelsea side they hadn't beaten since 2012. But this isn't Stamford Bridge. This is the Camp Nou. When you look at their upcoming schedule, right, there's a lot of matches that Barcelona will have at home, even past this match, El Clásico being one of them. I'm going to give you a little stat. So in Europe's top 5 leagues, there is only 2 teams that are unbeaten in all of Europe, and that is Napoli. The other one is Barcelona. After today's match, Barcelona have won 14 of 14 at home. In their last 7 matches, they've scored at least 3 goals in all competitions. And Hansi Flick, I thought he was very clever. At the final whistle at St. James's Park, he turned to the media and said, hey, this game is going to be very different at the Camp Nou. I very much believe that, but Barcelona have to be as ruthless as they were today in the Champions League.
They got another boost today. Gavi returning from his long-term injury. I think it's over 200 days that he's missed for Barcelona. It'd be interesting to see how much of a role he plays in that game against Newcastle. But from now until the end of the season, particularly La Liga as well, when they're fighting on that front and in the Champions League, it'd be great to have someone with his quality back.
Yeah, I thought it was a really touching moment where after the final whistle, they interviewed Gavi and they really asked him, what does this moment mean to you? And he said it's a moment that he's literally been training for and waiting for over 200 days, right? But I thought it was even more just pivotal and more eye-opening, the significance and the role that Hansi Flick has played. You look at so many managers in world football who are teachers. There's some managers who are just motivators, right? Hansi Flick is a father figure to a lot of these young players. And I really was touched to hear Gavi say that and identify him as someone who's played such a big role in his development as a player, as a human being, and as a Barcelona player. So getting Gavi back, if you were to ask me who are some of the players in Barcelona that are untouchable, who are some of the players that Hansi Flick would say, that is the sort of player that is part of the Barcelona Hansi Flick DNA, Gavi is one of them.
Important day for Barcelona on the pitch. Some news from there off it as well. Joan Laporta has been re-elected as president. As you can see, their voting is still going on, but he's been declared the winner by a considerable margin, because over 50% of the votes have now been counted. 69.19% have gone the way of Laporta, and so he has been re-elected as the president of Barcelona. And I guess from his perspective, it would just be rerun the kind of things we've been seeing over the last season or so.
Yeah, look, what a way to celebrate winning the presidency, right? There was never any question for me who was going to win it. And I thought it was very interesting that after the match, Hansi Flick had to go and cast his vote, right? Yeah. So you get your 3 points. And of course, what an irony that would have been if Hansi Flick would have gone out and voted for the other guy.
Yeah, didn't vote for his boss.
Yeah. No, we'd have breaking news here on Scoreline if he didn't.